Hello everyone, today is August 29th, day 328 of the war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. And these are our articles from today from Yediot Achronot. We have here an article that says, Latzor et hapigua haba, to stop, to prevent the next terror attack. Then here it says, Zo haderech shel hamamshala levakesh slicha. This is the government's way of asking for forgiveness about the ceremony for the anniversary of October 7th, which there's a lot of controversy around. Let's go to the first one. So here it says, Lenatrel et haptzatza ha'astrategit beYehuda v'Shomron, to diffuse the strategic bomb in Judea and Samaria. So for those of you that don't know, there are specific places that are hot spots for terror in Judea and Samaria. Some of those places being Tulkarem, some of those places being Jenin. But when I tell you it's a hotspot for terrorists, it's literally just a hub for terrorists from which a lot of terror attacks come from. So it says here, the rise in the amount of terror attacks, or the alarm that there will be a terror attack, has grown. Actually, the potential terror attack that was going to happen in Tel Aviv just a few days ago came out of one of these places. So last week, if you guys have been watching Israeli news, there was a terrorist that planned a terror attack in Tel Aviv, and he was planning to go to a synagogue. He basically had a backpack full of explosives and was going to self-detonate as a suicide bomber in Tel Aviv, and there could have been so many casualties. I grew up in the second Intifada, and when you hear people protesting in the world saying, globalize the Intifada, whether they are ignorant or they know what they actually mean, this is what they actually mean. And actually, the Hamas leader Khalid Mash'al has encouraged Hamas and other people to go, because Hamas is not just in Gaza, Hamas is also in the West Bank, by the way. He has encouraged them to go out and perform more suicide bombing. In this radical terrorist culture, being a shaheed, a martyr, is a privilege and an honor for your family. You don't only just believe that you will get 72 virgins when you get to heaven, but it's a huge honor for your family. They have a pay-for-slay sort of system in which the terrorist family get money from this. So it's not just fueled out of the hatred that they have towards Jews and the desire to want to have Israel all to themselves, but there's a benefit that comes to their family within the community, both financially and as a source of pride for their family. So what the IDF is doing to eliminate and prevent this is they actually go inside these really dangerous places to eliminate the threat. So they go into Tulkarem, they go into Jenin. Here you can see some of the soldiers, the IDF soldiers, conducting a raid according to intelligence that they receive. They also bulldoze certain areas that terrorists tend to hide in, and also transfer weapons through the border of Jordan. That goes like, if you guys know, if you look at the map of Israel, you can see Jordan has a huge and kilometers long border with Israel. You can see here that they don't only perform raids, but they also arrest suspects and terrorists, people that they know that are involved. And so they're really doing a really good work of preventing those terror attacks from happening inside the borders of Israel. And now let's talk about the state ceremony of the anniversary of October 7th. It says here, אנחנו לא יכולים לפתוח פתח לטקס כבקשתך. We cannot open a door or an opening for a ceremony according to your own order. What's happening now is the planning of the state ceremony of the anniversary of October 7th, which is being planned by Miri Regev, the Minister of Transportation. But what's controversial about this is that people don't trust the government, they don't trust Miri Regev, and they don't want basically anything to do with this, what they call a sort of farce ceremony, or just a fake display of care on behalf of the government, because they said that they neglected them then why are they showing care now? This is a source of division within the people, and some are even trying to offer some kind of compromise. That they're like, listen, we understand that the government wants to and needs to put a ceremony in place, but it needs to be done with sensitivity to the families. And so some people come along that are in the public eye, like Idan Amedi. Idan Amedi is a musician and singer, but he's also a combat soldier that was gravely injured in the war. And he's not only just like very beloved by people for being, a nice person, but he's very beloved in general for being, a hero and humble and a unifier of the people. And so he's offering some kind of compromise, a middle ground in which Miri Regev takes a step back, and 3 women who have lost their loved ones would be more not only just involved in the ceremony, but sort of presenting it. Here you also have an opinion article by Avi Shilon that says, Regev, Regev, this is your opportunity to prevent division. He says there's still a way to fix this, and that there's nothing more noble than sometimes not being adamant on your own way. Alongside that, there are families of the victims that aren't boycotting this state ceremony. Here you can see a caricature, a very telling one, of Bibi Netanyahu, Miri Regev, and another politician, and every single one of them is sort of putting their stake in the ground of what's important to them. Here you can see Netanyahu sort of very adamant on Tzir Philadelphia, holding it, and Miri Regev holding on to the ceremony of the anniversary of the 7th of October. And now for some really good news. We have a rescued hostage back in Israeli care and Israeli land. Here you have Farhan Al-Kadi, a Bedouin, a 52-year-old Bedouin from Rahat that was rescued by Israeli forces. He was 326 days in captivity. For 2 of those months, he was in an apartment. And then for the rest of the remaining of his time, he was in a tunnel just with his captors, a completely dark tunnel. And he is telling everyone that they should do every effort possible to bring the hostages back, because he said that it's absolute hell. But we're very, very happy to have him back. Simultaneously, just a day after that, the IDF returned a body of an anonymous soldier back. They received intelligence about his whereabouts, where he was buried. The IDF makes every effort to bring the hostages back, whether they're dead or alive, and we're really, really happy to have Farhan El-Kadi back. Alongside the good news of Farhan's rescue, there was good news in his village of Rahat. So he says here, Chagiga Kfula, a double celebration. They were having a animation and comics festival in his village for the first time, and when the news of his rescue came, here you can see a sketch by Uri Pink of Farhan El-Kadi with a huge smile, hands up in the air, broken chains, and the word Chofish, which means freedom. Definitely a double celebration. Thank you guys for watching. If you want more Israel content, go to allisrael.com, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you guys in the next one.